Now, I'm aware there are visual clues, but I'm going to try and block those out and go beyond that.
It seems that the staff here are very aware and also quite frightened of some of the locations. And when I hear that, that makes me a little bit apprehensive.
Yeah, and also it's that sort of story that will make other staff that come to work here, it'll make visitors, it'll make various members of the team, like you say, suggestible. It'll give them the same sort of experience because, like you said already, you are a little apprehensive. But given that it's a professional team, given that we've been in situations like this before, I would hope that we don't let suggestion get the better of us.
So we must completely clear our minds of any hint of the worries that battle-weary castles can sometimes present. But history has proven this to be a town that played its part in both trial and retribution. But are those sinners still here? Or is one particular malevolent male entity responsible for the foul deeds that haunt Taunton Castle?
It was almost like there was blood on his, literally blood on his hands.
I was being shown by the two children writing on the wall.
Well, the boy's dead.
It was the writing and it was being scribbled out. It's the writing, it was being scribbled out. But something's happened here that has been covered up.
He's one of the most aggressive personalities I've ever met, living or crossed.
Somerset's county town is Taunton, and that town's castle is our base for the day. But this place also holds a bloody past. It was once a witness to one of England's most infamous deeds, the sentencing and slaughter of many mortals. But how many of these still haunt Taunton Castle to this very day? And to reflect the rich tapestry of a location that stretches back almost 900 years, a museum can be found here too. The perfect place then for medium David Wells and guest psychic Ian Shillito to unpeel the many layers of this historical and integral castle.
It's really hard for me because my head is spinning. I feel really, the pit of my stomach, I feel really nauseous, and my ears are ringing with it. It's kind of I hate to use the word slaughter. But that's what it's. And the smells and the taste. It's like a butcher shop.
In this particular room?
No, not in this room. Not in this room. I want to go into the grounds and around the town. It's almost like the whole town is involved in it. You know. The back of my neck is absolutely on fire, and there's something or someone I'm trying to ignore who won't be ignored, and I want to say there's like a platform here, and I'm having to look up at him. He's not on the staircase. It's like a platform. I don't want to stand. I want to actually do this. I want to stand here and look up at him like that.
So you're shackled?
Yeah, and my feet are probably shackled as well, and I want to look up. I'm shackled, and there's a really horrible bastard, for want of another word, who is sitting in judgment. He's got, the Prince Charles style wig on, that kind of wig, and it's dark. It's not like a modern judge's wig. There's almost like there is blood on literally blood on his hands. So they're showing me his hands, and the blood is dripping off his hands.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just getting very strange readings.
What, from David?
Well, it was when David knelt down, and what I'm getting is fluctuation from about 1.3 on the y-axis, but then it's going up to 6, 7, and then back down to 1.3, and then up again, down again.
How unusual is that? That is quite unusual.
Yeah.
It's almost as quick as the judgment is made by the simple look of the person. They're not given an opportunity to defend themselves at all.
So, all right, this is the first time you've brought it out, the judgment. So we're talking about this man up here with the long wig is obviously a judge.
He's a judge, yeah, absolutely.
And these people are being brought to him,
yeah.
And he's got blood on his hands, so therefore he's the one that's making the decision.
Yeah, and there's like columns of soldiers. It looks kind of Civil War time to me.
Is there a name with this one man? And is he here all the time?
I kind of sense that he's around the town rather than always here. He might even reside here as a stomper. You know, he's one of these that he stomps around. He's one of the most aggressive personalities I've ever met, living or crossed.
Any name with him?
Jeffries.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Jeffries.
And how did he die? Can you pick up how he died or when he died?
Do you know, it's such a cliche, but you have to go with it. I feel like he died in the Tower of London, but not by being beheaded. And I would think it would be the very late 1600s, almost a bit like 1690, that sort of era, maybe into the very early 1700s.
Okay.
The hanging Judge George Jeffreys did indeed use Taunton's castle as the 17th century courtroom in which he passed sentence during the infamous Bloody Assizes, and more sensory perceptions waited upstairs.
Is there anything else that you can describe? You can give me anything particular about his dress?
Well, you want to say like the old black hat thing, but it's because he's sentencing people to death.
Even more specific, can you describe it?
What my guide is saying is it was permanently on.
What does it look like?
Well, it's kind of like I don't know if it's like a mortarboard. It's kind of like a. It's not a hanky. You know how you see them when they put a black hanky? It's not. It's a hat.
Thank you. That's
yeah, it's
amazing.
a hat. Yeah, okay.
Thank you for that.
Are you going to enlighten?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
After that struggle.
Basically, most people, two things when they imagine if they're faking anything or anything like that. See a judge, he has a white wig, and David said he didn't. He had a dark wig, which he did. These came in years later. But the big one is that everyone expects that when they put the black cap on the head, it is only a piece of cloth in the shape of a
Black diamond, yeah.
Black diamond, which you put on. But originally, in these times, they actually placed their tricorn hat on
That's
their
what it
head
is, yeah, it's a hat.
to pass the sentence of death.
Right. Thanks.
Why, don't you like it, Neil?
No, I don't like it. I feel really headachy in here. I need to sit down, actually. Can I just perch on this? I've got one woman and I've got one young man, but they're modern-ish. They're much more up-to-date than what we've come across so far. It's abuse of some sort. Now, I don't know whether it's because he's not quite right himself, which is no excuse for it, and that's not what I'm suggesting. Or whether he was extraordinarily rebellious, or whether his parents were just a little bit odd. But
How long are you talking about?
I'm talking last century.
So what happened in this room then? Why is this room so specific to what you've picked up on?
Well, the boy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
The young boy is dead.
How old, young?
Late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Name with him?
I think it's Lionel,
Okay.
which is a bit
Okay. What's the father?
unusual.
Sorry, you mentioned a mother and a father and that sort of... What's father?
Father seems to have his nose in books, and they're kind of... there's wonderful old books with Egyptian... You know how they have those sketches of excavations?
Mm-hmm.
That the ones I mean. Books like that, so I think he was involved, I guess...
Can you hear this knocking?
I'm hearing them all the time. While you're talking, I keep hearing...
Yeah.